No, we always welcome you with open arms here. How is it to be the interviewee? Because I see you normally the interviewer.
I like it this side.
Is it?
I must say, yeah, the pressure on that side, I think I mean, you've done a lot of research. I'm impressed. Because I think people don't know how much goes into before you actually sit in the seat. And because it's live like this, you can't and ah.
Yeah.
And sometimes you get a guest that just answers in one syllable, like yes, no.
Yes.
And then you go, okay.
Yeah. So
elaborate.
I mean, with we live as well. I mean, a lot of the times I get messages and says, Myles, please look at the camera when you're speaking because my eyes. But I mean, that's the live thing. So if someone can't say cut, then Myles, look at the camera. So
yes, but I also think that's what a community, like a community radio station, or this is like community TV. It's authentic, and I think that is also why people like it and they tune in because they feel that they're a part of it. It's not. It's not unattainable.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
So, madam, we are actor, I think, how many, 20 years already in the media space.
Yeah.
Give us a brief background of the acting space.
Well, actually, the interesting thing is that I'm an introvert, and a lot of people think that that means shy. And that's not true. It's just that I prefer being on my own, and I prefer not speaking so much. But because of that, I think you analyze characters, and introverts go inward. So that's why I absolutely love the idea of interpreting characters. And that's how I fell in love with acting. And I remember my first role was as Dusty De Silva on Isidingo.
Yes.
That was a fantastic way to start, and I learned from people like Clive Scott and Jamie Bartlett and the big names, Michelle Buertes. So that's where it all started, and I was in Joburg for quite a while and did TV and film, and then when we moved as a family to Cape Town, things changed a bit because the industry is different here, but now it's picking up a lot of series, like you said. Duivelspoort and Dit Wat Stom is hier gemaak en Die Byl en alles is Kaapse reekse. So well, we had a bit of a dip, obviously, with COVID, no work and all of that, but now it's picking up again. So
so I mean, I'm interested. Someone comes to you with a script of Duivelspoort, I mean, and you say, I'm in. I want to be in. I didn't watch the movie. My wife gave me a summary.
Yes, and that character was interesting because my character didn't talk. So, and I loved it because how do you interpret what is happening internally with this character? So I loved that character. She did say a few words in the end, but she was dark and mysterious. Lekker.
Okay, and that's probably why the introvert, you don't want to say anything.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so you caught my attention last year. You were in Paul for, you're writing books. Okay, so we're done with the acting part, the 20 years summarized in 5 minutes, but we're more interested in the new age, Milan. And you've got this series of books that you've written in Afrikaans, and also now you have the My Story Tribe and You Can Sit With Us, which is an awesome campaign. Why are we writing, and why are we writing to kids?
Well, the mental health space, you touched on that the My Story Tribe is about mental health, and specifically between the age of 6 and 13. We call them the tweens. So it's your primary school kid. As many things, it happened with my personal story. My kids were in primary school, and I was just aware of how much they are going through, how much is happening to a primary school kid that they need to adapt to, that they need to face, that they need to bounce back from. It's everything from, when you start in primary school, all of a sudden you are not in the group anymore, or you don't get picked for the team, or you do in grade 4 you start with exams and you don't have a 7 on your report card and everybody else has, or and divorce and immigration and there's so many challenges, and I saw my kids struggle to deal with that, and I was looking for a tool to help them reflect. And because my daughter is dyslexic, journaling isn't a difficult thing because you can't give her an intimidating blank page and say, go write about your day. So I decided to develop a journal that is monkey puzzles, tick the box, finish the short sentence, there's just an interesting prompt, make it interesting for a child to go and sit at the end of the day and say, this is what I want to process.
Yeah.
And so the journal started. So the My Story Tribe is a bigger company, but it started off with the journals, and we have a journal for 6 to 10-year-olds and a journal for 10 to 13-year-olds. And so I'm combining my love for children and my writing skill, and I suppose also the fact that I had this production company or this publishing company with the children's books, that too. Now I produce these tools and products for mental health for kids.
I mean, my daughter had the book, and we asked her to write 1 page a day. I think she finished it in the week.
Yes.
Because it's like, because I went through it with her, and it's like really, like you're saying, you can't tell a kid to go journal on a blank page. They have to start thinking about it.
But also things like in the junior journal, just the only activity for that one day is practice your signature. And what that does for kids to actually sit there and think, this is me. No, this is me. Okay, no, wait, maybe this is me. And you are busy with reflecting and yourself and who you are and affirming who you are.
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, I've got the 2 kids, and the lifestyle or the childhood they have now and the childhood we had when we were younger. I mean, I speak to my wife as well. It's like it's world apart of type of just school, you know how busy they are. So I mean, there was an interesting conversation I heard that the one school said the kids came back, and whenever the kids come back, they do a fitness test with kids before they go back into school for the first year, and normally they run the 60 meters. And so she said that normally on average you run 60 meters in 16 seconds. This year 23 seconds was the average.
Because they sit.
There's no activity. They can't climb they can't climb trees. So I think like with kids, this is what you're doing in the campaign is exactly what they want, because it's a screen. We're in a screen world.
And listen, we are on a screen now, and we embrace social media. We do understand that it's not all bad, but we specifically said we're not going to digitize that journal because you need to have the physical book and the crayons and the pen and the whatever, and the kids need to be busy with something tangible, just for a little bit. And sometimes a child, they're busy with it for 5 minutes, and other times, as you say, they turn the page, another one. Okay, let's do another one, and they're in that space for longer. We also have, I wish I brought it with me, we have a door hanger, one of those, you know, those door hangers that you have in a hotel, and we made one with the 5 big feelings, so a child can hang that on the door and then turn a dial to say, I'm feeling this way or I'm feeling this way. So the children learn to take up their space. They hang it on the door, they close their door, and they turn it, and at least as a parent I can see they've put that dial on the angry face. So today we don't need to have a conversation about it, but at least I know that's where my child is at, and they can use their space, whatever we also now launched an art journal. So all the prompts are art prompts, so it's draw this and design that, and it's all reflection.
Wow, that's so cool. So tell us about the campaign. I mean,
you can sit with us.
I saw it last year as well. I know there was a retailer that had a shirt that's the total opposite of that, but I don't know if it is the same thing.
Yeah, I think it sort of inspired our campaign, but we were sitting, as a company, we were sitting around the boardroom table, and we were talking about marketing and how do we market our company, how do we get people to talk about the My Story Tribe. And I mean, you sometimes when you sell things, you feel like and if you buy now, and if you, and I didn't know how to market in an innovative way. And I thought, let's take one of our values, inclusivity, kindness, and we put that in a hashtag, and we just send it out there and see if we get people talking. So I obviously have a few celebrity friends, and I printed 50 of these t-shirts. I gave it to all my friends, and I said, please talk about it. Please tweet and Facebook and Instagram about inclusivity and tell your story. Because I remember in primary school, I was sitting in the bathroom waiting for the bell to ring because I didn't have a group to sit with. And so we decided, you can sit with us, because that international retailer had a t-shirt, you can't sit with us. And it spread like a wildfire. And that brought me to Paarl. We're at Klein Boys. We had a whole You Can Sit With Us week, and these t-shirts are available at the Freedom Market in Paarl. And so now we do talks at schools, and it's part of our ethos, it's part of our campaign, it's part of what we are for as My Story Tribe.
But I mean, what is the message you want to send out with You Can Sit With Us?
Yeah, people, we have had a bit of a negativity around it, because people say, so should I now include everybody, even the bullies? Or should I include who can sit with me? Must I tell my child that they must invite anybody? And you know what? That in itself opens up conversation. Because what do you do with a bully? What do you do with that child that does things that you are not happy with?
Yeah.
And it gives you the perspective that they too have a story. So our message is inclusivity. And what we are saying is that kids nowadays, in their classroom, they've got people that don't look like them. They have people that don't believe like them. They have people that don't act and like things like them. And all we are saying is include everybody. Love everybody. And let them sit with you at break time. If you see someone that's lonely, invite them to share your lunch or to ask a question. Who are you? Where are you from? And if all else fails, smile.
Yeah.
Include them in just a smile.
Yeah.
That's what inclusivity is about.
Like I can see you should actually be making lunchboxes and stationery.
Yes, yes. It should be so much more.
Yeah.
And for kids specifically, they are at an age, the primary school kids, where they can still, that message can still land.
Yeah.
If we can just teach it to them and model as parents.
Yeah. Yeah.
Parents. They struggle with You Can Sit With Us. Yeah.
Why is mental health such a big thing in your life?
I was diagnosed with, in Afrikaans, it's endogene depressie, which means that it is hereditary. So I don't need an event to feel depressed. It is part of who I am.
Wow.
So yes, so depression and anxiety has been a big part of my life, and so I grew up with it. I'm dealing with it. I don't like to say I suffer from it.
Yeah.
I live with it.
Okay.
And so that's so it is a big part of who I am.
So what's 2022 looking like?
Does anybody have money?
we all
need
looking for
money. 2020 is about raising funds for the My Story Tribe, because as you say, it can go very big.
Yeah. You're talking about money. This guy I spoke to last week, he said he's got this thing that he wants to do and he needs money, and it's very close with a very rich person overseas, and he phoned up and he picked up the phone and he said, I'm looking for 1 million euros for something in South Africa. And he said, what is it for? And he said, this is what I want to do. And what you do? He said, okay, I can give you half now and half later. And the message was, you have to ask.
See,
you just have to ask.
I did. I asked. Heard me now.
Okay, and anything on the acting this year?
I have just auditioned for 2 things, so fingers crossed. Let's see. Yeah.
Okay, so acting is still a very strong
very much
thing.
a part of my life. I love it. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, fit that in between the kids and the My Story Tribe, and yeah, all the hats.
Where do we get the t-shirts? Where do we get the books?
The t-shirts you can buy from pickat.co.za.
All right.
And the books you can get from themystorytribe.com.
Okay, and delivered to Paul. How does it work?
Anywhere, to your door.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay, smooth business.
Yeah.
Madam, thanks so much.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, Myles.
Yeah, it was very, very much fun.
Yeah.
So, yeah, guys, we're going to move over to Judith, and she's going to speak to Sabrina and some of the Drakenstein art guys to hear what they're busy with.